Greetings and welcome to your destination. You've reached the Psychological Wellness Hub. We aim to help you build your knowledge and wellness around better understanding mental health and psychological concepts. Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is a brief introduction to substance use conditions or substance use disorders. To learn more about specific substance use disorders, please look at the description below for links or select in the channel library or playlist for a specific substance use disorder to watch more about. What is meant by substance? These are known clinically or medically as a diagnostic class of substance use disorders or SUD. This is a cluster or group of conditions that all have forms of problematic substance misuse as a main bothersome symptom. In other words, addiction. Problematic substance use misuse can be present in other behavioral health conditions, but is not the main feature or difficulty. Substance misuse can manifest or come to us in many different forms as human beings. Generally, it comes in these common intense ways. Emotional responses, things like fear, anticipation, dread, waiting for threats or consequences, anxiety, scared, threatened. In our thinking, it might be intense versions of these thoughts. I gotta get my next score. It's just a matter of time before I get caught. I'm just a loser. Just one more, and that's it. A quick bump to get me through. If I let them close, I'll end up being sorry I did. My hands are contaminated. It's better keep my mouth shut. They won't accept me anyways. People drive me to drink. It may come in our body or behavior. It might be intense, things like desires to avoid emotional turmoil, suppressing our emotions through the chemical escape, desires to avoid body or bodily difficulties if chemically dependent to the substance or drug, being alert, internal tension, taking risks, dreading the decision or future experience, pacing, internal restlessness, body limb restlessness or moving, alert, looking over our shoulder, heart racing, pressure, tweaking, nasal drip from cocaine. For more understanding on the ins and outs of substance use disorders in general, please go to the channel and look for substance misuse, addictions, and behavioral addictions in the playlist. What are substance use disorders? A substance-related disorder or a substance use disorder, or SUD, is a class of disorders that shares a feature of excessive, problematic misuse of a street drug, a medication, or a toxin that causes difficulty in one's life. The previous editions of the diagnostic manuals, or DSM, used to use the category reference distinguishing between two different types of problematic substance misuse. That is, substance abuse and substance dependence. These are still relevant, though not cited as often in newer editions of the DSM. Substance abuse refers mostly to a problematic and maladaptive use of substance, medication, or toxin that results in clinically significant impairment or distress in one areas of life. A number of these, though, are not all required to meet the criteria. This includes completing obligations or responsibilities, things like going to work, school, college, following through with promises, being engaged in risk behaviors or exposure to harm while using, things like driving while impaired, operating machinery while impaired at work, speeding, daredevil activities, things like risk for actual consequences, things like legal problems, work consequences, continued use despite other consequences from continued use, things like social, financial, and medical consequences. Substance dependence refers mostly to problematic and maladaptive use of a substance, medication, or toxin that results in clinically significant impairment or distress in areas of life. A number of these, though, are not all required to meet the criteria. This includes tolerance, or an increased need of the amount of the substance, medication, or toxin as the body gets used to it over time. Withdrawal from the agent as the body becomes chemically dependent from the tolerance developed. The substance is taken in larger amounts over time than initially intended by the individual. Persistent use of the medication, substance, or toxin despite the physical consequences and psychological problems associated with this. So here we're talking about, the physical sickness that comes along with the withdrawal, or the psychological craving that comes along with no longer using the substance. The problematic substance misuse becomes so big that it begins to disrupt and impair several areas of life: work, responsibilities, social, school, and goals. The cost to the human being is terrible suffering and distress for themselves and for those that care about them. There are many types. Some individuals have more than one. What are some types of substance use disorders? Well, we're talking about things like alcohol use disorder, which includes alcohol abuse or dependence; cannabis use disorder, which also includes abuse or dependence; cocaine use disorder, which includes abuse or dependence; caffeine use disorder, opioid use disorder, inhalant use disorder, hallucinogen use disorder, stimulant use disorder, and many more that include abuse and dependence. We hope you found today's topic was useful for yourself or someone else. Let us know if it was by commenting below. Let us know what you'd like to hear more about or what topics could be useful to you by commenting below, and we'll take it under consideration. If you like what you heard today and would like to hear more from Destination Psychological Wellness Hub, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel by selecting the subscribe button below the screen and by clicking the thumbs up. This will help us get the newest content produced by the channel to you. Please tell all your friends and family about the channel and share this and other videos with them on the channel. Encourage them to like and subscribe. And as always, we hope your psychological wellness continues to grow with us in this community. Thank you.